founded Evenbreak in 2011, so we're 10 years old now. Evenbreak is a social enterprise which is run by and for disabled people, and we actually help to reduce the disability employment gap. So we have a job board, an accessible job board. We have services that we offer to employers to help them become more inclusive and accessible, and also career support for disabled people looking for work. And then, of course, they can find each other on the job board. And we've grown over those 10 years. So we doubled last year, which was unusual in a pandemic year. But we're 19, 20 people now, not all full-time, some part-time. And we have over 50,000 candidates and many hundreds of employers that we support as well. So yeah, we've grown quite a lot in 10 years. It will be to do much more international work. We're already working globally, but we'd like to do more work internationally. We'd obviously like to engage with a lot more employers and with a lot more disabled candidates. So our growth is really, I'm hoping that we will double again this year. And then next year have a solid growth going from then onwards. There's been a much greater appetite for diversity in the workplace than there ever has been really since the pandemic. So I think we're in we've got some really good solid foundations, and I think we're in a good place now to really build on those and grow in the future. As a female founder who is disabled, I actually started Evenbreak, and for the first 6 or 7 years of Evenbreak was running the company from my bed because I wasn't able to get out of bed much due to my disability. So there were clearly lots of barriers that I faced over those years. I think my age also is a bit of a factor because, I'm quite a bit older now. And I think there are barriers in terms of perception. People perceive that if you say the term CEO, people immediately assume it's a man. I have an invisible disability, so people don't know I'm disabled unless I tell them I am. But I think we do face additional barriers, definitely. I think as a woman in the workplace and as a disabled person, there are additional barriers around things like being taken seriously, around perceptions, around things like productivity, sickness, absence, all of those things which are assumed to be much worse if you're disabled, although in reality, that's not the case. But I think often, any minority business owner, whether it's someone of colour or someone who's disabled or gay or whatever it might be, face additional barriers around that kind of perception. And it's trying to really prove yourself even more than everybody else has to actually say, yeah, I'm a woman, yes, I'm disabled, and yes, I'm just as good as a CEO as anybody else is, and my company is just as successful. When we talk about skill shortages, actually, I'm not sure we have them. I think that the talent is there. It's just that we're looking in the wrong places. One of the challenges is finding the talent, finding the right skills, and particularly at the moment, post-Brexit and post the pandemic, there really is a skill shortage, and a lot of companies are really struggling to find the talent that they need and find it quickly. And I would say, for any scale-up, any organisation that's scaling up and scaling up rapidly, there is a pool of talent out there that has been largely overlooked and ignored. And we have loads and loads of disabled candidates at Evenbreak who are incredibly talented and incredibly highly motivated to work. So if you're looking for a pool of talent that is, keen, motivated, talented, enthusiastic, then look to disabled people, because there's a whole pool of talent there that, really is ready and waiting. Recently, we joined the Innovating for Growth programme at the British Library, which was absolutely phenomenal, and we gained so much from it. The main benefits were talking to real professionals in their own areas of expertise. The trouble is, when you're rapidly scaling, you don't always have that expertise at hand, and particularly free. And, for me, this was amazing because we could talk to finance experts and marketing experts and experts in all of those different disciplines that any scaling organization really needs to tap into. And it really meant that we had made those connections and did all that learning over a very quick period of time, just at a time when we needed it, when we really were scaling. And I'd highly recommend the program to anybody who's looking at rapid growth and scaling quickly, because it gives you that interaction with people who really do know what they're talking about. They've been there, done that, and also, of course, meeting other people on the same cohort who are in the same position that you also learn quite a lot from. Evenbreak is a social enterprise. We're a not-for-profit company who works with and for disabled people. And that brings its own challenges. For example, in terms of funding, we can't really go to equity investors because we're a not-for-profit. And we can't really go to a lot of grant funders because they want you to be a registered charity, which we're not either. And so we have to find support that is relevant to us. And some general small business support is good for us, but often it's not relevant. So we've had to find specialist providers who will support social enterprises. And there are very few of those around. It was great that the British Library Innovating for Growth programme was accepting, social enterprises as well as scale-up businesses.